Here are 5 secrets revealed by top audio engineers in the game. The first secret is to mix quickly. Manny Marroquin and Andrew Sheps talk about this. Mixing quickly is important because the more you listen to a record, the more used to the sound of the record you become. What they do is they try and get as many big decisions done in the first 10 minutes, even 5 minutes of mixing the record. The other thing that they do is they take frequent breaks. Breaks are important because your ears are going to be refreshed every time you take a break, and you're going to have a nice fresh outlook on the mix when you come back to revisit it. The second secret, also thanks to Manny Marroquin, is to use multiple speaker systems. Some people don't realize how many speakers Manny uses when he mixes. He uses a lot of speakers, and there was a period of time where he had multiple desks with different sets of speakers on them to be able to reference his mixes. From Rockets to Yamahas to Augsburgers to Barefoots and then Neumanns, it was all over the place. But the more reference points you have to check your mix, the easier it's going to be to make sure it translates. The nice part about having multiple speaker sets at your desk is that you don't have to export, upload, download, take out to the car, listen in the car, come back inside and do the changes. It'll save you a hell of a lot of time to get a second pair of speakers, but if you can't afford a second pair of speakers, grab some headphones. They'll be a good stand-in until you can afford a second pair. The third secret, which isn't really much of a secret, is to use Pro Tools. All of the greats use Pro Tools. It's not to say that you can't do good work in other DAWs, but if you're planning on being an audio engineer, you got to be able to work in any studio you walk into. And almost every single studio I walk into has Pro Tools loaded up, and sometimes no other DAWs besides Pro Tools. Pro Tools, besides being an industry standard, no matter what anyone tells you, is also the best audio editing software out there. And we as engineers are ultimately audio editors. I know a lot of people online that love Reaper or other DAWs love to target Pro Tools as this horrible DAW that rips you off, but honestly it sounds really, really good and it performs really, really well. And no matter what anyone tells you, it's going to remain the industry standard for a long time. Just stopping in here briefly to ask you guys to please comment and share this video if you appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy this content. I look forward to bringing more to you, and I really appreciate your support so far. Thank you. The fourth industry secret is to always lead with feeling. Do not use your eyes to mix, use your ears and your feel to mix the record. If something feels right, but you know it's technically not correct, for example, you have 2 auto-tunes put back to back on top of each other, or you're using way too much compression on a vocal, but it's coming through really, really nicely. Don't follow the rules. Don't listen to what anyone told you. There's no rules in this game. If it sounds good, it feels good, it is good. And that's all you need to worry about. This is also something that Manny Marroquin happened to touch on quite a lot. He shared on an interview that when he was a kid, he used to go into the record store and just play with the EQ to be able to change the way the record makes him feel. From such a young age, he was understanding how they can change drastically the way a record feels to the audience. So lead with feeling. It's what the greatest engineers in the world do. The fifth and final, but probably most important secret, is to mix with intention. Always mix with a goal in mind. Never do something because you saw somebody else do it and you figure you should just do it too. It's going to kill your mixes if you work like that. Have a goal in mind. If you throw a compressor on, make sure you understand why you're putting that compressor on and what it's bringing to the table. If you EQ all the lows out of a sound, is it just because somebody told you always low cut things or always high pass things? Or is it just because you heard something down there and you want it out of there? Be mindful of these things. Sometimes it's easy to get into routine and easy to just do things because other people who seem successful at this do it too. These pieces of advice are not exclusive to me. You can go ahead and find them online anywhere you look up, and a lot of the top guys will say some of the same stuff. So be wise, listen carefully, take the advice from the greats, and work smarter. It'll make you a lot more money. Ciao guys.